Hey everyone, welcome back to Don's Life. Today I want to provide a quick update on the GM 6.2L L87 situation based on some new publicly reported information. And then I'll walk you through a couple owner experiences that have been shared with me. I'm not here to tell anyone what to think or what to do. This is simply about passing along public information so owners can make their own decisions. Let's go. If you're new here, my name is Don. On this channel, I do automotive and home DIY projects, tech reviews, installs, and occasionally I cover real-world situations that directly affect my vehicles and many of you who watch this channel. This L87 topic is one of those situations. As of now, there are still multiple federal safety actions when it comes to the 6.2L L87 engine, and none of them are closed yet. By now, if you're involved in the official 6.2L L87 engine recall, then you've most likely had your inspection, or you will soon. Now, as you know, our 2022 Cadillac Escalade was part of the official recall process. However, my 2021 GMC Sierra AT4 was an early build that model year and didn't line up with the 600,000 vehicles that were part of the recall. That said, one of my last videos on this subject, I shared with the audience that there is an Engineering Analysis EA25007, which is reviewing engine failures outside the original recall window. My 2021 GMC Sierra would be a part of this, and this engineering analysis is still open. As of right now, there is no new recall announcement and no official conclusion at this point. What's new, and the reason for me making this update, is reporting from multiple outlets that the NHTSA has opened a separate recall query, identified as RQ26001. GM Authority, Auto Evolution, and perhaps more have just reported what I'm about to speak about. Feel free to check out those articles. I'll link them in the video description below, but I've paraphrased them right now and I'm going to give you a bit of a summary from my notes. Based on public reporting, this query is looking at engine failures that were reported after recall repairs were already completed. According to those reports, regulators received about 36 complaints where engines allegedly failed even after the recall remedy, such as the oil change or in some cases an engine replacement. And you don't have to look far to find stories out there where people have had the oil change remedy or the replaced engine and still had a catastrophic failure. This doesn't mean a new recall. A recall query is essentially a review step. It's how regulators evaluate whether or not a previous fix was fully effective. So right now there are two parallel processes happening. One looking for failures outside of the recall, and one looking at failures even if you've had the oil change or an engine replacement as part of your inspection and the recall. To help put into context, I want to share two real owner experiences that were sent to me. This first example is from David. He owns a 2025 Chevrolet Silverado High Country with the 6.2L engine with only about 5,600 miles. Keep in mind, his truck would not be part of the active recall, but it would still have factory warranty. David was also gracious enough to send me a quick video clip, which I'm going to play now. Clearly, David requires a new engine. David also provided me with a number of documents, including the dealership inspection and their plan for repair. So I'm going to paraphrase this information for you. So during inspection, the engine was found to have an internal mechanical failure. Cylinder 3 showed piston damage and scoring to the cylinder wall with metal debris present. A compression test confirmed zero compression in cylinder 3. Due to the extent of the internal damage, the engine is not repairable and will be replaced with a complete engine assembly. The replacement engine is a current revision, manufacturer approved long block. Now, if you have been watching these videos before, then we've talked about the importance of filing your complaint with the NHTSA so they at least have a record of what's going on, and that's exactly what David did. Let me read you the complaint. However, you can definitely check it out for yourself. I'll also link it in the video description below. So in your own words, tell us what happened. 2025 Chevrolet 1500 Silverado High Country 6.2L motor with 5,624 miles, blown motor. When I tried to start it, the motor made a noise like someone tossed a handful of spoons in a blender and turned it on. I'm trying not to smile, but it's humorous. Motor shut off on its own. This was on Sunday, December 21st of 2025. Truck was towed to the dealership on Monday, December 22nd of 2025. Chevrolet customer service was called on Monday, December 22nd, 2025. The case number's here. I spoke with 7 different people before a manager called me later that evening and said who my case manager would be. The manager stated that this case manager's direct manager and that the case manager would reach out to me within 2 to 3 days. The manager also stated that she was unaware of a 2021 to 2024 issue with the 6.2 liter motor. I informed customer service that I wanted a buyback and that 7 service departments told me that the motor replacements are taking 3 to 6 months or more. I've been told that the repair for the 6.2 liter has not been properly addressed and the new motors are still having catastrophic failures. I spoke to 7 local Chevrolet service departments. Each one said that they had several of the 6.2 liter motors in with major failures, some brand new 2025s. It goes on to talk about some more information. Like I said, this and many other stories are available on the NHTSA's website. Go have a look for yourself if you're interested. So I do believe there's others out there that have had a similar or the same experience that David has. His story, and I'm sure those others, give us insight into what to expect from an engine failure for a vehicle outside of the recall window. Our next owner story comes from John. He's in a very similar situation as me, meaning that he owns a vehicle that's pre-official recall. He has a 2020 GMC Sierra AT4 with the 6.2 liter. His truck is not part of the active recall and it's no longer under manufacturer warranty. Before we discuss his story, I need to play the video that he sent me. It's important as it sets up what we want to talk about after. Okay, so that's John's video. I know some of the audience is going to think, well, that's what they normally sound like. And then there's going to be people that think that there's something wrong with the engine and it probably needs addressing. So here's the interesting part of the story. He had an oil change performed, and after about 3 starts with the new oil, the noise completely went away. Now I'm in contact with John because I wanted to make sure that when I posted this story, it was also up to date if there was any new information. So he says, "Evening Don, I've never ventured from 0W20 Dexos 1, and normally I run Mobile 1, and it's changed religiously at 5,000 miles. The knock started at the last oil change, about 90,000 miles. Oil pressure has been steady. Haven't seen any change in oil pressure since the start, and I've owned the vehicle since new." So if you've been waiting to drop a comment, drop one now, and let's talk about John's situation. What do you think that we heard in the video, and why do you think it went away after the 3rd start with some new oil? And it's not 0W40, it's 0W20. So I guess for me, this doesn't tell us what's going to happen long term, but it does show how symptoms can appear and disappear and change over time. This kind of variability is exactly why investigations take so long. For owners that are watching this, everyone will make their own decisions. For me, our 2022 Cadillac Escalade, which is sitting across from me here in the garage, is running very well. And in fact, we just completed a performance upgrade in it, so if that's something that you're into, definitely subscribe to the channel so you can keep up with those mods. Now, if you're nervous and you want to protect yourselves, there's still some meaningful things that you can do. And I've said this before, if you experience failure or concerning symptoms, file a complaint with the NHTSA. This will create a public record and does apply some pressure as the investigation draws on. Keep documentation, service reports, photos, videos. This helps preserve details while they are still fresh. And if something does require service, asking for a written diagnosis can help you avoid misunderstandings later. At this point, there are ongoing federal reviews and no final determinations yet. And I'll continue sharing updates and any new public information as it becomes available. Thanks to David and John for sharing their experiences, and thanks to all of you for watching and being part of the conversation. If you felt this video was helpful, hit that like button. Please consider subscribing, and we'll talk to you next time.